One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. What up, everybody out there? One, two, one, two. All right. How's everybody doing out there? How's everybody doing out there? How's everybody doing out there? This is Mighty Flipside, and welcome to another edition of How to Be an MC, How to Be a Lyrical MC. This is class number 2 of 6 classes. And just so if anyone's not familiar, this class is dedicated to, this class is for anyone who's interested in creating and writing rhymes. If you're very new, if you're brand new at creating and writing rhymes, this class is for you. If you've never written a class or tried to write rhymes before and you want to learn how to write rhymes, hip hop lyrics specifically, this class is for you. That being said, this is Mighty Flipside. I'm going to get right into it. So this is class number 2. And in class number 1, we had something that we talked about. We wanted you to answer a question. And if you followed all the steps in part 1, if you haven't seen part 1, go see part 1. This is part 2. You have to make sure that you answered the question. The answer to that question is going to be the thing that is going to propel you for the rest of this class. All right. So you have to make sure you answer the question. If you don't know what the question was, go and check class number 1 and make sure you follow the steps. That's the most important step. Do not cheat. Do not cheat. If you do follow the steps, you have to answer the question. You have to wait a week. Don't cheat. All right. So now that you have answered the question, there's some things that we're going to need from now on. We are going to have it's one of the tools that's going to be very important. You're going to have to find yourself a book. You're going to have to find yourself a rhyme book. Now, I prefer having a composition book only because the composition book is bound together. It sticks together. The leaves don't come out. If you are in a situation where you want to write down on a bunch of pages that are all over the place, you're going to end up losing some of the pages. So I suggest that you use a composition book. Composition books are kind of a thing that, hip hop writers use. Do you have to use a black and white composition book? You don't have to, but I do suggest that you get a book that you're going to use over and over again. I like the composition book because it's bound together. The pages don't come out. You don't lose them. You want to keep this with you at all times. You want to have this with you ready to go. You want to have a book that you dedicate yourself to, okay? Like I said, in part 1, we had you answer a question. You answered that question. Now that you've answered that question from part 1, find yourself a book and dedicate yourself to a book. This is going to be your book from now on. You can find them at, 7-Eleven, CVS or any convenience store, and they're not that expensive. I believe in this time of when everybody's self-quarantining and everything is closed, Staples is even open. So you can find a book or online. They're not really that expensive. They're maybe $1, at most $3. $3 is very expensive for a composition book. So you can find yourself, I think I've seen some for 74 cents. I prefer to have them college ruled. That's up to you. This is a wide ruled one, but it's up to you. That's a preference, but I do suggest that you get a book. All right. All right. So now that you've answered the question, you have to make sure you go get yourself a book, because you're going to dedicate yourself to a book. And this is kind of one of the things that you'll see at the end of this lesson. You are going to use this book for not just writing rhymes, for several things. And it brings me to, you can also, actually, when I was first starting to become a songwriter, someone says, find yourself a lucky pen. You can do too. I prefer to write in pencil myself. That's just a preference. But Find yourself definitely a book that you're going to go back to over and over again. Find yourself a lucky pen as well. All right. Now, we're going to come back to this, but you need to find yourself a name. Get yourself a name. Find a name. Find a name for yourself. Find a name for yourself. Let me see if there's anybody who is shout me out this time. All right. Find a name for yourself. Let's see. Find a name for yourself. All right. So call it a rap name, but your name, Mighty Flipside, is my name. Mighty Flipside is my stage name, my MC name, my public name. It's very important that you find yourself your name. Do you want me to name you? No. Actually, I've named several people in my hip hop community, but if I don't know you personally, then you're gonna have to find your own name. Find a name that suits you. Find a name that makes you feel confident. Find a name that makes you feel strong. Find a name that represents you. And don't get kind of, the names change as you grow. Sometimes the names grow, so don't even worry about that. So find yourself a name, okay? So let's get down to it. So last week I gave you an example of some bars. So today I'm going to give you some bars too. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper into what this whole thing is. Remember, you answered the question already. You're going to find yourself a book, and we're going to start using the process of getting yourself more comfortable with rhyme writing. All right. So listen to this. Here's 16 bars for you. And I'm going to show you as the class progresses how to get to do rhymes of your own. All right. See, my man Mickey D is real known in the streets, but can't go to BK because he got beef with a girl named Wendy. She was redheaded and skinny. She's a real cold stone like ice cream, but not friendlies. An accent like Mrs. Dash. Love to hear her speak. Says she was French, but originally from Greece. Played men like toys. Had Roger, had Roy. Stole Long John Silver, stuck Bob's Big Boy. Professional skeezer, slicing people up like pizza. She would take the subway just to see her little Caesar. She said Popeye had the spinach, but he couldn't risk it. Said he wasn't no chicken, so he copped the biscuit. He was one wild and reckless, eating crews up for breakfast, and he said he played to win. This is chess and not checkers. They would fall like dominoes. Outback snitching, they was going in and out for the clout in Hell's Kitchen. Messed up a little bit, but basically that's it. That's a 16-bar rhyme, right? 16-bar rhyme. How do I come up with 16-bar rhyme? How do people even know what 16-bar rhymes are? Like, what is that? How do I even know? How do I even measure that? So I want to show you something, okay? I want to give you an example of how to measure what I mean by 16 bars. It's a little tiny bit of music theory, okay? All right, so let me just play a little bit of some music. Let's just see. Let's play some James Brown because he was really big on that. We're gonna see how we get to the point where. Let's see. All right. So when you listen to a James Brown groove, all right, let's listen to Funky Drummer. That's gonna be one. Funky Drummer by James Brown. Make sure I play it real loud so you can hear it on my speakers. All right. All right. So this is what I meant. So, of course, this is James Brown. This is not. Well, I mean, God's the Godfather rap. But I want to show you something. When the music starts, notice how I'm going to be counting this, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2. I messed up, but actually, no, I'm sorry. Let me start over. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So every time I go to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. What that is called, the measurement, the metric of what I'm counting, that's called a bar. So that was just 4 bars that I just counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm asking you to do is find yourself in a place where you can count up to 16 bars. When you are home by yourself, listen to several rap records. Listen to several rap records and find yourself, counting bars for yourself. Again, think about the answer. Answer the question that you answered from the first class. Go back and reflect on that answer and use that answer to measure 16 bars yourself. Now, there's a very important part of understanding how to measure the bars. Let's go back to, let's try Biggie right here. There is let's see, let's do the instrumental. So, all right, so this is the Biggie instrumental. All right. So you can hear the one kind of like jumps it off, kind of shocks you into the groove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4, 13, 2, 3, 4, 14, 2, 3, 4, 15, 2, 3, 4, 16, 2, 3, 4. All right. So find yourself being able to go home and find your favorite artist or reflect back on the question that we asked in part 1, and then you can start measuring out 16 bars. Now, I'm not expecting you to learn how to write 16 bars right now. I'm not expecting you to learn 16 bars right now, but I am expecting you to being able to count those things out. You're going to get used to that in a little bit. All right. So we're going to start a practice today. Now, it'd be a lot easier for me to do this word exercise with someone else, but we're going to do this with a skill called 2 words. 2 words is when you have a conversation with someone and you only use 2 words. Now, I know that sounds impossible, but you want to challenge yourself to be economic with words. This is an exercise that I've done to help you shape what you're going to rhyme about. So 2 words is a skill or a practice that I use sometimes when I talk to people. And I only try to use 2 words, no more, no less. No more, no less, 2 words. For example, I mean, it'd be a lot easier to do with 2 people. They'd be like, hey, Flip, how you doing? And I would answer, pretty good. Like, oh, well, how you been holding up during this whole quarantine? Staying busy. Like, oh, so blah blah blah. Like, are you going crazy? Like I'm going crazy. Being productive. So you notice that I'm only answering with 2 words. Now, the reason why this becomes a bit of a skill is I used to do this and have conversations with people, and they did not realize that I was only using 2 or more words. Now, if you want to bring something up, if you want to say something else, if you want to do the thing for yourself, you can use only 2 words. It's a skill. I'll see if I can bring someone on next week so I can give you more of an example. But only use 2 words. What is that? What that's going to do is going to allow you to be a little bit more economic with your language. You're going to use. You want to figure out how you can convey all the information you need within only 2 words. You're going to focus and get to the point where you're just using 2 words to communicate. Again, this is going to be really hard to give an example by myself, but like I'll see somebody I haven't seen in a long time. Yo, Flip, what's up? What's up, Flip? And then I would answer, yo, bruh. Now, what I would do is see how long I could go without breaking the 2 words. And I used to do that with my buddies. And the first person to use less or more than 2 words would be eliminated out of the game. It's a really kind of interesting, fun game. And it kind of helps you become a little bit more economic. And what I mean by economic is being more selective with the words that you use. All right. Now I realize